Well, good morning, sir. Now, lately I've been putting pictures on in my photo albums on Facebook. Take pictures of memories of the past. That's basically what that is. Take a picture of a building around Stuart Strath, and I'm doing it in Waynesburg, Stanton, Fishersville, and different areas also, of how it used to be and how it is now. And it's really amazing how memories will come up when you're doing this, especially when you post pictures and other people comment on it and bring their memories up and they talk about it. And you find out things you never knew, and and it adds to your memories, and it brings things up that you didn't think about. And this eventually will be something probably that will be like therapy. It heals something in your spirit, soul, and mind and body, probably without you even knowing it's happening. If you do things like that, you should take pictures of things that mean a lot to you in your town. That in bygone days it was like that, and now it's like this. It helps bring that stuff up, and it exercises your mind and your memories, puts it in gear, and it will stimulate your mind and refresh your memory. And I don't know what all it'll do to you. Now, some people don't like the past, they don't like memories that bring sorrow and sadness. Well, in that case, we need to work through it and get healing out of it. And that's important because we don't want to go through life just like being in sadness all the time over certain issues. Just tell ourselves we're going to let it go and let healing come. Uh, Healing emotionally is something that I've been working on for many years. And, it's a slow process. Some things go fast, some things go slow. And it's good to focus on what it is you want to be healed from, but then don't focus on it too much because then you can perhaps uh, get too deeply involved with the situation. But it's important to stay focused to a certain degree. But anyway, that's not what I was going to talk about. If you really want to get some good healing, though, I suggest you try landmark education. That there is in Alexandria, Virginia, and it's in different parts of the world. It's all over the United States. You probably have it in your state if you live in a different state. And that is where I spent about 1,000 hours in the chair, and either as a participant or as an assistant, or we don't call it assistant, assisting is what we call it. And anyhow, it was a very good experience, and it really brought up a lot of stuff in my life. And the landmark education is a transforming uh, situation. I got very transformed. I'm not the same person I was when I started that in 2005. I was in really heavy for 2.5 years, and it's amazing what it makes out of you. But anyway, so memories is another thing that uh, that we bring up in Landmark. But it's just really an amazing program. And so anyway, then well, one thing memories bring up, you go and you look at these farms and houses that people lived in, and you take pictures of them. Some people have died and moved, going on. E- Either they have died or moved away, and it's really something. And a lot of people die. The more you age, the more people around you are going to die. that you knew. And well, recently I've been to two funerals. Both of those were older women who were never married, and uh, there were smaller funerals as a result because they had no offspring. But a lot of times these funerals are big. When my brother passed away, I went to his funeral. When I got the message that he had passed away, I was stunned because it was a sudden accident and totally unexpected. I sat on the couch and didn't say a word for a while. I went to that funeral, and guess what? That man loved everybody. He had so many people come to pay last respects. There were like 1,000 people came to the what would you call it? The where we receive friends and have viewing and talk and people pay their last respects. The church house was full of people. There was about 1,000 people that filed through, and there were people outside that did not make it in. I thought, wow, I had never seen anything like it. And then for the funeral, I counted the people as they walked past, and having counted my own self in that, there were 700 people exactly, according to my count. I don't know if anybody else counted or not, got a different count or not. I never heard. But that is a lot of people at a funeral. And I said, man, he had lots of friends. And I said, did I even have enough people to carry my casket when I died? I mean, I said it sort of jokingly, but sort of seriously too, because, you know, yeah, I have lots of friends, and I even have more now because I decided, I was going to be more of a person that will be a friend to everybody when I saw that. And so, yeah, I have made a difference in my own life so that I can be a friend to other people while I was not being friends to many people at that time. So that changed my life right there. And that was in 1999. And so anyway, a lot of people are afraid of death. They don't like to go to funerals. I once thought I must have been to 1,000 funerals in my lifetime. And I got to counting them up, and I felt like I couldn't count much beyond about 50 people. And so then that was kind of a shock to me because I thought I had gone to a lot of funerals. But that was many years ago that I did that. So it's probably been 10 or 20 added to it now. So anyway, I don't always get to go to the funerals that I want to go to. And for some reason, it just doesn't work out. But I don't understand why some people don't like. I guess people are just made up differently. They don't like going to funerals. Now, death is not a pleasant thing. It's not like, okay, let somebody die so I can go to the funeral. I don't feel that way about it. It's not a pleasant thing. But when someone does die, I want to go and pay their last respects to them. And not only that, I want to be there to support the family and support uh, the friends, and especially if they're somewhat related to me. And then they have a graveside service usually, of course, and of course among Mennonites they will then have hymn singing at the graveside. And another thing that Mennonites do is cover their own graves. When my dad was buried, it was kind of amusing because we couldn't get the casket down on the ground. We had to pull it back up and shave off the edge of the grave. Well, the vault people were like going into a panic. They were not used to this kind of thing because they usually drop the casket after the people leave. Well, in this case, it wasn't that way. And they were afraid, I guess, that we were like going to panic about this. And but we didn't. It was, to us, it was amusing, partly because it was typical of what my dad would say. If you can't do it, try again. If you first don't succeed. And they also said, where there's a will, there's a way, and we found a way. And so we buried our own father. And a lot of people will not be able to handle that. They couldn't put dirt on a casket. But the thing of it is a healing thing to do that. If you've never tried it, I suggest you do it. Even if it's just one shovelful, it'll make a difference in your life. And you will feel like you have honored that person, you have honored the family, you have honored yourself, and you've honored God, because you're going to feel that you have done something to connect with the passing on of life and going on into eternity, and hopefully the person that has died will go to heaven. And so it's really an interesting experience to be a part of a funeral where you can do that. And so while a lot of people are dying around us, one day it'll be our own turn, but we don't have to worry, because we know that the time that we have our own time to die, and we're not going to die before that. And so it's all in God's hands as to when we're going to die. And then the angels will come and receive our spirit. Like when my dad died, the angels came and received his spirit. And so someone asked how it was for me. Was it not a terrible thing to come in and find my dad had passed? I said, no, I felt it was an honor, because I was actually able to carry out some of the things he asked me to promise him concerning his death. Furthermore, I moved in the house later, and somebody asked, how could you do that? I said, well, it wasn't that bad. And I said, in fact, I felt the presence of God in the house when I did that. It was a help to me. It was helped me to heal. And because, when you get close to such things, instead of running away from it, it helps you to heal. And my dad had prepared me for his death, and I had not wanted to talk about it. I told him, no, you're not going to die for a long time. He said, Steve, uh, you need to accept it. He said he's going to die, and he's ready to die. He's ready to move on, and you need to prepare yourself for it. And not only did he do that, he prepared me for myself. In other words, he worked on me. He talked about it a lot and told me what to do and what not to do, and how to handle the situation. Of course, my oldest brother then actually handled most of everything. I didn't even think about it, because I didn't feel like I was in the position to do it. I was the youngest brother. And so it didn't even occur to me to do anything much after that initial thing of, you know, turning it over to uh, the vault people, or the funeral home, and then calling the family. After that, I felt like it was out of my hands, and then I let my brother take care of it, naturally, because he's older than me. Uh, so, and I think he kind of felt like it wasn't really in his place, it was the oldest brother's place, but he was not here. He had also passed on, and so he felt responsible. So he took the responsibility for it and did it. He did very well with it. And so so that's the way it is with death. When death comes, it's there, and then you deal with it. And so it was amazing. And then the local church, the Pilgrim Church, they allowed us to use their building, and they were very good to us. But it turned out to be a good experience, especially uh, the funeral, like I say, we got to bury our father and shovel dirt on it. It was a good experience. Um, but I was talking about memories, wasn't I? So yeah. So as you go along in these pictures that I posted on my in my photo album, you'll see right now I have pictures of Stuart Strath on there, and if you look on there, you might see some stuff that you remember, and it brings up, and you can comment on it if you want to. Um, but these are uh, things that I've been doing lately, and it takes a lot of time, and I just can't do but so much at a time. But I will get more done. I'm going to have to start another album on Stuart Strath because that is getting too full, I think. So, and another thing I was thinking about doing was posting some of the gravestone pictures of my friends and relatives, mainly just relatives. I don't know how honorable a thing it is to do to post pictures of friends that are not related to you, because I don't know how um, other people feel about finding a picture of a gravestone on the internet. So unless that these are close family friends, I just don't think that I should be putting a lot of gravestones on Facebook because someone may not be able to handle that. But then again, they might. I don't know. I just haven't done it, and therefore, not. I'm just not sure. So it's. I think it should be a thing of close friends of the family or family itself. If I'm going to do that, now if you put photos on the internet about uh, graves beyond that, that's up to you. I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying what's for me. I just don't think I should uh, be doing that because I might be stirring up a lot of grief in people that they have not been healed from, where it's not really necessary. It's not my business to go around forcing people to be healed. That's just the thing. You cannot force healing on other people. It's yourself that you focus on. If someone wants you to help them work through healing, that's another thing. But that's a whole different story. We're not going to go there today in this video. So we're just going to stick with what we've got here. And the video is 18 minutes long already anyway. So thanks for listening. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video. It's not the way I intended it for to turn out necessarily, but that's what is. And what is what is. So until next time.